Hi everyone, welcome to the very first episode of Conversations. I couldn't make up my mind as to who I should ask to have the first conversation with, And then I remembered that once you have met today's guest, you will know him. He's unashamedly authentic. And I mean, that resonates with me, especially because I'm also, rediscovering and reclaiming myself. And, these reassuring sounds that you're hearing in the background will not give him away. You still won't know who he is. But I will tell you, he is a singer who can sing all the parts of the human voice. He's also a musician with perfect pitch.
Whoa.
The cool thing about this guest today is that he's arranging for and tutoring some of the international industry's cool names. And yet, when he has to, he is still the lowly church pianist. Vuyo Chuma, I am incredibly thrilled to have the opportunity to have a conversation with you.
The honor's all mine. Hey, the honor's all mine. And I do not deserve these accolades, but thank you. Wow. I'm actually overwhelmed.
Oh, calm down.
It's so good to see you.
Wow. So it's been incredibly difficult trying to get time with you, to make the schedules work and so on. And, what have you been up to in these lockdown days?
Good question. Lockdown, in more ways than one, has given me the opportunity to sit down and get some inspiration on fresh music. In fact, I never thought I'd have more than enough time to myself. When I do music, I'm pretty sure we're gonna, talk about that organically as time goes. But when I create music, it's spontaneous, it's on the fly, most often than not, A number of pleasant fruits came out of that, namely, number one, I am privileged to now be associated with an online group. Well, I'll start with the fellow in question. His name is Gabriel Kunda. Gabriel Kunda is one of the most prolific, if I'm not mistaken, Grammy nominee for, being a voiceover artist and stuff. And he's a musician in his own right, In as much as I follow what he does, he also alluded to the same, that I'll say this in humility, he loves what I do. He loves what I do. And so we began a very beautiful friendship there,
That's awesome.
Until one day, he said to me, I think that was around Easter. He said, "Hey, dude, I'd like to ask you to, I'd like to commission you to do an arrangement for our online group, Acapella's Life." And I'm thinking, Acapella's Life. Who are these guys? So I quickly went onto Facebook and I checked out their profile, and was I not blown beyond wit? I'm thinking, these guys are the topmost musicians in the world, and I'm going to be arranging for these guys. I said, okay, all right. I think I'm loving the challenge. And then he of course, gave the brief, can you give us a take 6 feel and stuff, because the one thing that Gabriel knows me for is every time he looks at my face and my sound, he pictures smooth, lush, smooth, lush. So,
Lush. Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
you know, smooth,
I think those
smooth
are
lush
appropriate
arrangements.
adjectives.
You know, and to this day, I often laugh to myself and I'm thinking, Vuyo, smooth, lush arrangements. You know, and I, you know, get a little warm inside, you know. So I took about 10 minutes, I think, thought about the arrangement and waited for the day, drove off to the studio. And when I got there, the moment I got behind the mic, started recording, inspiration took over, and boom, the song was done in a single day. You know,
Wow.
the song, by the way, in question is Because He Lives, written by Bill Gaither. And so I had to do a fresh new vocal arrangement on it. Then came the big surprise. When the video was posted on the internet, there was an explosion. There was an explosion. I did not see it coming. I was lying on my bed, looking at the responses, and it was on Facebook, and boom, suddenly I get a friend request, and I'm saying, David Maddox. I leapt out of my skin. I'm like, what? David Maddox? I mean, the David Maddox. I mean, who does not know David Maddox? You know?
Wow.
I don't want to start describing what he's done and what he continues to do, you know, with his projects, acapella project, Eventide and stuff. He asked for my friend request, and since then, it's been a regular meeting since. Just like that.
Okay.
And
I
I'm like,
stand in the presence of greatness.
No. No, I'm too small for this, but thank you, Lisa. I really appreciate the compliment. It's surreal. It's surreal.
But you know, Rio,
it's surreal.
There are so many people out there who look at what you're saying now, and you know, they think that that's how it all started. When in fact, you know, the journey hasn't always been easy. I mean, surely.
Yep. True. I mean, it's been a long time coming. In fact, if I can start this way, my professional career started 17 years ago, but I've been singing throughout my life. You know, perhaps let me start there. You know, I was born to a family of musicians, and by musicians I mean my dad, because my uncles as well are all musical. You know, so when I was 3 years old, I, you know, began to exhibit very strong signs of musicality. And I literally, like, I remember this one song at that age of 3, you know, the story of Jesus will never grow old. Now I'm singing in the key of E major. That's what the song was on.
Okay, yeah, no, I trust you. I believe you.
You know, so in that key, so I literally would visualize the parts and the story of Jesus will never grow old. You know, so they would listen. I was like, no, man, do that again. And now, obviously, when I was 3, I would not exhibit that bass range, you know. So I would literally either go silent to show that I understand the part, but I can't get there.
Yes.
Or I simply octave it to an acceptable.
Yes.
So that they can hear exactly where it's at. And because the adults, they would interpret it and decrypt it to what it was meant to be. Well, I had a reputation for being too forward, apparently, you know, when I was a young boy. So
I wonder if that's changed.
Okay, you want to do it? It's for the people to say, but much has changed in my growing up. I say that carefully. Now, I know I'm singing it a semitone lower than the original.
Okay. All right, we knew that. We totally knew that. You know, we were like, oh, we are singing the right key.
Because if I'm to sing it, I think it should be A flat, you know. Yeah, that's the original key. So I'll sing it in the key of G right now. Okay, so wow, the feeling I had when I heard the first chord of Silent Night. Oh, Lisa.
Yeah.
You know, I can talk about it now, having the sanity to describe what I felt at that time, but at the time I could not describe it. It was just, you know, I'll tell you now, I don't know, it looked like at the time some Take 6 floodgates opened. I suddenly had the entire collection within 2 weeks. Yeah. So, exactly 2 weeks after listening to that cassette, I began to arrange like Take 6. I could see no other possibility because for me, the culmination of that insatiable appetite was at that particular point. He gave his life one perfect sacrifice. God is merciful. God is love. And that's where it ended.
Oh my goodness. Wait. I'm going to die. So I just need to tell you that you actually just sang an entire arrangement now. You know, so for people who are actually listening, do they need to credit you? Do they need to acquire copyrights? If somebody has the gift of being able to listen and decipher how you are singing all the chords and get that down, hi boyo, that is just, it's a different.
I'd say to the viewers, guys, God gives gifts for a good reason. Let's share it. Take as much as you want. Have fun. Let's enjoy the gift. You know what I mean? I'll tell you something, Lisa. I'll tell you something. If there's one thing that gives me the greatest joy, is to spew out a musical arrangement just like that. Hold on, persevere. One day all this is going to yield fruit. You know what I mean?
I needed to get something for people who may be listening who are interested in a career in arranging, or the one in church who is showing that arranger capability. Because there are these individuals from a young age, you pick them out, that have the ability to put a group of people together and make a sound. How that sound is, it will grow, it will get better over the years. But what do you have to say to people looking to get involved in something in arranging?
A very good question. A very good question. When you are given a gift, don't be apologetic about it, but don't aim to prove a point about it.
I love that balance.
You have it. There's no need to speak loud about it. Your works will speak for you.
Oh, lovely.
Number one. Number two, surround yourself with like-minded people. By like-minded people, I'm talking about people who gravitate towards liking and loving what you do. Two, have the same capabilities as you have, as you. Surround yourself with such, because it shows that the playing field is balanced in that particular realm. You have people who are able to support you even if they're not singers or musicians.
Yes.
You have people who are arrangers who are willing to help you get to where you are. and you have got people who are willing to learn from you as to how you arrange. So that particular color helps you to be the musician that you are. And to add on top of that, we are living at an age where the communication resource covers a vast expanse. There's internet, there's tutorials and stuff. Google, find out what makes other musicians tick the way they tick. A cappella groups, jazz groups. Now I'm a jazz man, and that will never change. And at the same time, I've gotten to a point where even if I'm a jazz man, I'm able to adapt to various styles to show my versatility. So anybody from the religious or church circles who really want to get into this field must be prepared to take upon a journey that may not be so easy, but it's about persevering to the end, and not to forget that you can't make it alone in this industry. You've got to collaborate. You've got to work together. So the moment you purpose in yourself a particular objective that resonates with your granular realm, everything else, regardless of the challenges and hardships, will fall into place for as long as you persevere.
But I really want to thank you for being willing to share, to give of yourself. I mean, people pay you big bucks to get you to arrange for them, to tutor them and show them the ways of the world.
Lisa, I'm the one who thanks you. And if I had a way of thanking you, it would be in a 6-part harmony format. But seeing it's just a dialogue thing, the best I can do is for all those musicians who are listening out there, I would simply say, thank you, Lisa.
Thank you so much.
And that's in the key of E. Thank you so much, Lisa. It's been a pleasure having you. I'm really happy. Thank you so much.
This has been awesome. Ciao.
Thanks.